talking about having a good time, talking about a smile on the face of Mr. Perfect. No, it doesn't look on him.
Hey, Curt Hennig fans, hello, and welcome to another episode of Nobody Beats Curt Hennig Nobody. I am your host, Mrs. Witchy Perfect. Here we are again. I think next week, and the week, because in 2 weeks I'm going to the beach, so I'll probably be doubling up here, recording to this coming weekend. So I'm recording this as of August 2nd. And you guys will be seeing this at the end of August. So on the 23rd for Rumble, and for YouTube on the 27th of August. So you guys will see this at the end. So don't be surprised if I maybe in recording I may double up, and then I'm going to have to skip a week because I'm going to the beach soon. But you will not see any episodes missing. You guys will have your entertainment. Also, I wanted to let you know that these stories that I share are nothing personal. A trigger warning, but I never, just that a lot of people have been not liking my videos because I give my opinions on certain wrestling promotions. That is just my opinion. You do not have to agree with it, but I would hope that we can all agree on the fact that we are all adults here, and that we all will come together for our love of Curt Hennig, his career, and everything else in between. And he was a great man. So because if I don't say this, YouTube cries. And then they don't promote my stuff. So anyway, these are just stories, and they're just my opinions when it comes to other things. But when it comes to facts about Curt's life or Curt's career, those are real facts. And I wouldn't spend time researching it if I didn't know it was true. If there is ever a story that you want to hear, or a story that you want to dispute, you are more than welcome to tell me in the comments, no, that didn't happen, and I will look it up and find the truth in it. So I think we can all come together on the truth of it, and that's why I do my research and I find these things out. Just watched night 1 of SummerSlam. I'll make this very brief because we do have stories to get to from James Romero. Thank you again, James, for doing what you do. And I'm going to try to cut down on any kind of swearing or off-color language because, again, YouTube will tend to cry. Excuse me, and then I don't get my promotions. I don't get to promote my videos. So again, if you have any stories that you would like to share about Curt Hennig, or anything you'd like to see on the show, please leave a comment, like, and share this video so that we can continue to grow. Hopefully I won't have to promote via YouTube. I was just hoping that this channel would grow. So please tell all of your wrestling fans, anyone who likes Curt, tell all your people about it, and let's help grow this channel. Okay. So we're moving on to the first episode. This first series, stories, news. There we go. Wrestling news, I should say. And a trigger warning for anyone who, doesn't want to. You can skip this part and go right to the main event. We can definitely do that. I will keep a lightness about this show, not try to take myself too seriously, and try not to take yourself too seriously. Let's just have fun. Let's be lighthearted and happy. And, let's convince YouTube that this is worth promoting. So anyway, we'll get to our first story. This is about Brian Alvarez, and also it is about Dave Meltzer. I'm going to keep my opinions to myself about Dave Meltzer. I think on the show, people know what I feel and think about Dave Meltzer. And I don't watch his show. I really don't listen to anything he has to say. but we're going to learn about it. So I'm going to go ahead. Take it away, James.
Hello all, James here. Now, bad faith criticism, like bad faith podcasters, are almost dog whistle phrases for AEW sickos that they parrot when anybody says anything they perceive to be anything other than blindly glazing AEW or toward AEW.
And I just want to say, trigger warning for anyone. Again, if you don't want to hear this, this is just our opinions. If you don't want to hear this, you can skip to the main event. I'm going to do one about this subject, and then of course about WWE. To be fair, we're going to be fair and balanced here, and get both sides of the story. So trigger warning for anyone who doesn't want to hear this. You can just go ahead and skip to the main event, which is like 7 minutes long. So, but yeah, you can just skip to the end. All right, here we go.
AEW to make themselves feel better, most likely. But anyway, if you don't believe me, I mean, just waste a few of your precious seconds going through the Pro AEW Reddit boards or on Blue Sky accounts, and all you'll get is me hate WWE, me want more women's matches, me want less Jericho, me think AEW is perfect. And if you don't think AEW is perfect, you're just an E-drone guy. I mean, you just want to be spoon-fed your kiddie wrestling, and AEW is for the adults, the real fans. Try not to roll your eyes at that one. All the usual non-logic while sticking their fingers in their ears and going la 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 and licking windows or whatever it is these people do. While AEW's own shows suffer some serious long-term issues that have been hampering their growth for years and are still not being addressed. Now, of course, AEW's greatest cheerleader and the most prominent person who calls it the way he wants you to perceive things is Dave Meltzer, of course. Now, this was clear on this past Thursday's episode of Wrestling Observer Radio, where he defended to the death anything objectively bad or counterproductive on AEW television. Even when he agreed, he argued. Now, Meltzer, in my opinion, of course, is an unscrupulous, shameless PR spinning shill. And at this point, I'm fairly convinced he's helping book the AEW shows. And I don't even say that with irony. I really don't. He's great friends with Tony Khan. That's quite well established. And I cannot fathom anybody with any supposed professional or journalistic morals being this obviously biased. Now, have you ever noticed that Dave Meltzer always has the full explanation for an AEW storyline or an angle or a reference or whatever it might be that makes no sense to anybody watching the show, or practically no sense to anybody watching the show? But he always knows what Tony Khan is going for. It's either because Tony is explaining things to him personally, or Meltzer came up with the idea in the first place, in which case he's a fucking terrible booker. But anyway, on this Wrestling Observer Radio that was released recently, it was straight after AEW Dynamite. Meltzer argued with co-host Brian Alvarez over a number of situations on Dynamite that frustrated Brian. First off, this.
Dude, I hated that Dynamite. Maybe hated is the wrong word, but okay.
I loved it.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
I loved it.
I should just step out.
I loved that show.
Let Garrett do the show.
I thought it was awesome.
That's impossible.
I like the subtle hint. I'll get Garrett on because he's the guy who never, ever contradicts Dave Meltzer on anything ever. But anyway, Dave Meltzer called AEW Dynamite awesome. Yes, this poorly conceived and formatted and executed AEW Dynamite episode that did nothing for the upcoming AEW Redemption pay-per-view was awesome on the basis that I guess it inspired awe for Meltzer, but also really it's an AEW show, so therefore it can be nothing less than awesome. You can't spell awesome without AEW, am I right? But anyway, we aren't talking about the match quality, by the way. That's irrelevant to proceedings, whether you like the matches or not. I mean, if you don't like the matches, it's not irrelevant, but if you like them, it's irrelevant. Alvarez takes issue with the show opening with a major AEW World Title match featuring Adam Copeland, Edge, and Christian versus Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta, yet not announcing said match with two big stars until 1 hour before showtime.
You know they announced this 1 hour before the show went on the air?
No.
An hour.
Well, WWE just said too.
Dave, it's a tag team title match, dude. We had 2 matches announced. Dave, hold on a second.
That happens all the time.
Last week's show.
I'm not saying they shouldn't have announced it. Of course,
it sounds like you're defending it here.
I'm not defending it. I'm just saying.
I don't care what WWE does.
It's not WWE.
I don't care.
They do it every single week. They do this every single week. You want to cry about it every week?
Yes, I will.
It's like, yes, they could have announced it ahead of time. They don't, okay? They don't. He has a strategy that he wants to announce matches on the day of the show. Whether it works or not, I don't know. This is the strategy.
I don't know.
And WWE has the same strategy.
Whether it works or not, I don't know. This is the level we're dealing with here. And immediately, Meltzer starts talking in that.
Well, and here's my opinion. Again, trigger warning. You do not have to watch this if you don't want to. You can skip this part. You can go to where we get back at Triple H for his stupid comments about how wrestling fans should just stay out of it and just take our entertainment, or what they quote unquote call entertainment, right? So if you like AEW, fine. If you like WWE, fine. I get it. But trigger warning, I'm going to give you my opinion now. And I know not everyone agrees, and you're probably going to dislike this video. That's fine too. I'm a big girl. I can handle it. But here's my thing. I hate when dad and dad fight, right? Because, I mean, I do not like AEW. I will not watch it because I just don't consider that entertainment. Okay. That is my opinion. Trigger warning for all those people who like it. Fine. You can like it all you want. We are in a somewhat still free country. So all I'm saying is that, when you have Alvarez and you have Meltzer fighting over AEW, I think it diffuses the point. The point is, to me, it's all bad. I don't watch it. I don't care about it. It does not entertain me. And the same with WWE. And WWE is starting to not entertain me anymore. I just saw night 1 of SummerSlam, and we are going to review that. If you would like to watch our review of SummerSlam night 1, please check it out on the on Angel's show. His links are in the description field. We do talk about this. I have a lot to say, and this is WWE, so it's not even AEW. It's criticisms of WWE. So you will get to hear the full report on Pro Wrestling Talk. Just look it up. It's on the Pro Ocho, or like I said, Angel's links are in the description field. So please check them out and check out my opinions if you like them. Again, I criticize both sides. Okay, I don't like AEW, and WWE is not very entertaining anymore, especially that the Brock and Oba match left a lot to be desired. Now, I agree that Oba should have won, but I just think that Brock pulled politics backstage and said, I'm not taking these kind of crazy bumps. Well, then why not just have a regular match? Have a regular match and leave that part of it out. Just have a one-on-one match. You don't need the rest of it, the HELL in a cell, right? You don't need that. You just need a regular match then. Because if Brock's not going to take bumps, then there's no point in having that kind of a match. Just have a one-on-one match. Let them do what they did. Obafemi won with the powerbomb. Fine. Great. That was fine. But the type of match you were having was not, in my opinion, it was not up to what it normally is. And I expected a lot more out of that. I just think that because Brock is older now, and for you Brock Lesnar fans, I personally do not like Brock Lesnar. Trigger warning. I don't like him. I think he I don't like him because I just never liked him. I never liked his wrestling. I never thought it was, up to par. And there are some people out there that were saying, oh, well, Curt trained him. No. Curt worked out with him. Curt Hennig worked out with him a couple of times. He did not train him. And then, of course, Brock took what he said and put it out of context. So my thing, I'm sure that everyone's heard the story from Jim Cornette that Brock Lesnar would complain about being on the road. Okay. He would complain about that all the time. He didn't want to be out on the road. He'd rather be home with his girlfriend who was pregnant at the time. Fine. And she went on to have twins with him, and his one daughter it's either the shot put or the javelin. I'm not sure, but she's actually a college star. You know, she is doing very well in her track and field. So, I mean, kudos to her. She, and she looks just like Brock. I'll tell you what, true spitting image. But anyway, they left a lot to be desired. But when we get back into this with AEW, again, I criticize both sides because both sides are now not entertaining. So again, if you want to hear all my star ratings for SummerSlam, check out Pro Wrestling Talk on the Ocho, or you can just check out the links for Angel's links in the description field. Great friend of mine. I love Angel. Him and I are like really, really, really close friends. And of course, Kit Cabello, I can't, say enough lovely things about him. Dave from Deconstructing Topics, excuse me. All very dear friends of mine. Love them all. And please check out their links in the description field and to hear more from them. They are all wrestling fans. I know Dave liked Shawn Michaels, Angel liked Bret Hart, and Kit liked ECW. And for any ECW fans out there, I'm sorry, trigger warning, but I could not get into ECW. I tried, but I could not get into it. I was more WCW and WWE, of course, at the time. Big Stone Cold fan, and of course, Mr. Perfect as well. But that's why we're here. We're here to talk about Mr. Perfect. But anyway, let's get back to more news. Here we go.
Way where it's, like one capital letter, one lowercase letter, one capital letter, one lowercase letter. But WWE does it too. Meltzer 101. If AEW does something wrong, Uncle Dave will go straight to look at the monkey, look at the silly monkey, WWE, blame them for something AEW. Anyway, yes, WWE does annoying stuff. We all know that. For goodness sake, I know it. Watch it all the time. It does not affect AEW's own business one
That's why we have podcasts.
Just because they do something stupid, it doesn't absolve AEW for the exact same sin, ultimately. This is what is so frustrating. You cannot reason with some people using logic, especially when they have a clear vested interest in being right or being perceived to be right, or have some deep-seated need or want to always be the arbiter of what is good or what is correct. Here's the thing, not advertising big matches and major name appearances on upcoming shows far enough in advance hurts the product. Always has. Or for the most part, always has. People, unless like a company's unbelievably hot and then just the name itself will sell. People who are on the fence need a hook. They need a reason to care. People who don't watch AEW often need to be enticed to watch the show. It's simple as that. If you advertise nothing and you're announcing a match 1 hour before the actual show happens, which is essentially the same thing as if you're advertising nothing in advance, you will not get the optimum viewership or attendance. This is not a controversial position to take. Dave Meltzer knows this and still argues that the sky is purple. Then Meltzer has the barefaced cheek to whine about all of this not advertising stuff in advance as being Tony Khan's strategy. There is no strategy here. That's the entire point. This is all last-minute scramble booking with little in the way of longer-term planning or cohesion as far as in-ring stuff or whatever it might be, aside from a couple of top storylines where he will have a good idea where he wants to go to. Another quick thing to mention before I go back is that the AEW show formats are incredibly irritating as well. I mean, why would you end a show, and this is from this last Wednesday, with a 22-minute overrun, and in the overrun, a match starts. And it's a match that no one asked for. And it was like a random 6-woman tag match that couldn't main event anywhere just because Mercedes Moné, it was at her hometown. So therefore, she had to be in it. WWE does this as well. And it's really frustrating. They will put on some really wacky, quote-unquote, main events, which aren't they're just some mid-card random match going on there because the actual main event is a talking segment with Roman Reigns. I will not keep comparing AEW to WWE. I don't want to be like Dave here. So anyway, This is simply, on Tony Khan's part, bad planning. Like how not properly advertising the live shows in advance in local markets is killing off their live attendance, which is currently averaging around 3,000 or probably even less per show. And they're all TV tapings. There's no house shows diluting the attendance here. It's the same reason why AW can do a really good show one week and then follow it up with complete crap, at least from a booking perspective, the next week. Tony Khan does not plan far enough ahead in advance, or apparently have the infrastructure to maintain momentum, which is why growth in AEW has been so stagnant for so long. Yes, they've had a couple of boosts in viewership the last couple of weeks, but you know why Dynamite, not last week, the week before, 9 days ago or 10 days ago, whenever I record this, they did a really good number for that. Was because, well, one, they didn't have a load of competition, or did they? I can't remember. I think it was the Collision that had a load of competition. It doesn't matter. That's irrelevant, or to a point anyway. Why they did a really good number that week is because they advertised a big match several days in advance with the inference that a world title might change hands. Then this past Wednesday, with the momentum from that, I'm presuming anyway, Dynamite did a similarly very good number, and then they did a bad follow-up to the previous show. So the ratings next week, I'm going to guess, are going to be down again. Now, that being said, if you believe Dave's complete lies about viewership, that he has previously admitted himself is not true, those HBO Max numbers, by the way, should be doing around 500,000 on top of what the TNT showing was, and that means that also AEW Collision probably beat out SmackDown. And here is what he said yesterday. I would argue that it would need, Collision would need 426 on Max this week, 426 on Max this week to beat SmackDown. Not impossible, but that is a large enough number that you would not expect it to. WWE is clearly number one. It's punctuation, but AEW is the strongest number 2 in decades. That's not the point of any of it. But like, geez, once again, just presuming. Well, let's not call it 500, but HBO Max could do 426. I can see this, but then you kind of go to.
The problem is nobody knows those numbers. Not even HBO Max, because again, people who don't watch live, they go back and watch it. Now you don't have a real big number for who watched the live event, because you can probably go back in many of these, streaming platforms and watch it non-live. So you can't really get a number that, a live number. And again, nobody knows these numbers. Not even HBO Max, because it's hard to get a number of people who are watching live versus people who are watching it after the fact. So this was very well documented that they can't even get Netflix numbers because same thing, people watching it live versus watching it in playback. So you really can't get these numbers, and anyone who says they have the numbers is lying to you. So I'm sorry, but I mean, even for WWE can't say, well, we're doing over 1 million on Netflix, because they don't really know. Nobody knows. Okay, so there you go.
Let me just play this for you very quickly before I forget.
Is BJ Bethel, who claimed 500,000. Now, Dave himself has said that sounds really high, and I agree. And the thing with streaming is
you don't get the numbers anyway. I'll pause it there. You see, even Meltzer is like, it's probably nearer like 250,000, which I think is still way too high. It's probably more like 100, maybe, or 100.
But again, you can't really get these numbers because again, it's live versus playback, and again, that's hard to do. And even HBO Max will not release these numbers because they don't know. Nobody does. And again, you can have hit counters, but again, like, for example, if I were on YouTube, it would be like how many people watched my live show versus who watches it on playback, right? So, I have how many people look at my show on a weekly basis and how many people love my show and want to watch it more and more and more. but I don't know, like if I were going live all the time, I wouldn't know how many people are watching my show versus how many are watching it on playback. So it's a little hard to determine numbers from that fact. Okay, we're going to watch a little more of this and then we're going to go over to WWE. If you don't like WWE, you are more than welcome to skip this part. If you like AEW, skip this part and we'll go over to the Triple H in a little bit.
125. I don't know. It could be less. But what is funny here is that Dave Meltzer will always move the goalposts here. So whatever show, when Dynamite was going up against whatever WWE show there might be, he would only take the 18 to 49 numbers because that was in Dynamite's favor or AEW's favor, whatever the show might be. And so he'd take the 18 to 49. But now all of a sudden, because the views are up, now he's taking the full numbers. Once again, the total week's viewers, because that's just more important all of a sudden. Now, back to the lack of forward planning. How can we not discuss AEW Redemption at this point? Because this was a pay-per-view created entirely to feature Kenny Omega defeating MJF for the AEW World title. Then, for whatever reason, a few days earlier, that match was then brought forward 3 weeks, leaving the AEW Redemption pay-per-view no reason to exist whatsoever. Now we have Kenny Omega versus, for whatever reason, Kevin Knight. And that's the current, best I can tell, that is the current main event of Redemption. A challenger that even AEW's own fans were chanting no, no, no for on the Dynamite show. And then there's a rematch between Jericho and Ciampa, which only happened last week. It's kind of like Liv Morgan and Io Sky. It's like, well, we've already seen the match. And there's a pretty clean finish. Not quite that clean, but clean enough anyway. And then there were some other matches that have been thrown on last second with little to no build. The pay-per-view is as missable as it gets. And all because of a last-minute main event switch around because Tony is so focused on All In. Now, we've got to talk about Adam Page, Hangman Adam Page. He finally returned on AEW Collision last Saturday after months away because he lost a match where he said, if I lose, I think it's to MJF, I will never challenge for the world title again, like Cody Rhodes did, and boy, did that do wonders for his career in AEW. Anyway, AEW advertised this hotly anticipated return less than 24 hours before the AEW Collision show, and it was on social media. But he's one of AEW's biggest stars. We know this, and Tony Khan at no point bothered to promote him properly. To make things worse, there was no recap, no discussion, or even a cursory mention on commentary of Adam Page's return on the following Dynamite. They even did an AEW Collision recap and then didn't mention Adam Page whatsoever. If you only watch Dynamite, you have no idea that return happened. Now, Alvarez said it is completely unacceptable to not advertise Hangman Page. And Meltzer very reluctantly agrees on this one. But even he starts saying, yeah, if it was up to me, I would have done it over the course of a month in advertising before I brought him back. And then he still says it wasn't the wrong move.
Or would you not have mentioned that Hangman Page was appearing on Collision on Saturday?
Well, the Page thing ended up doing the number, so I can't criticize him now. I mean,
the show did a good number, but like, had they advertised him?
I wish that they had
they advertised him for this show, perhaps?
Yes, Dave Meltzer would not criticize AEW for not advertising Adam Page and trying to get more people watching, which more people, I presume, would have watched that show if they'd known in advance, because the viewership was good for that show. So therefore, it's all fine. It's all perfect. Anyway, here's the main point here, before I get too annoyed over that last clip. Alvarez's very fair criticisms were attacks from the usual suspects. So Brian didn't like Dynamite. He must just be burnt out of all wrestling, because how could you not love it? But the difference is that he said this, and he said variations of this a million times before about WWE, NXT, TNA, etc. for decades. But it's apparently only a problem when he criticizes AEW. Now, I think when Brian or myself or any other number of YouTubers or podcasters voice their issues or concerns with whatever wrestling company's output you may care to mention, it's usually for one reason. We are not I do like complaining, but we're not complaining because we love complaining so much, not all the time. I mean, there's an element of always trying to create content to feed the machine because, of course, that's all of our jobs, but it doesn't make it any less valid, of course. But the main reason we complain is that we want the situation to improve. Normal wrestling fans don't want AEW or WWE or whatever it might be to die out or go out of business, or most importantly, to put on consistently bad or frustrating.
As he said there, we all have content that we need to talk about, right? And if these guys, if these wrestling programs go away, then we have nothing to do, right? I would like to see wrestling go back to the days of when Mr. Perfect was around, you know, the real wrestling, because sometimes that pesky wrestling gets in the way of things, you know. That's how I feel about modern wrestling. It's just they took pretty much all the wrestling out of it. And now it's just really weird promos with, you know, stuff that doesn't make sense, storylines that change and just don't make any sense. So I agree wholeheartedly here that literally we're doing this because not only do we need material, but also we don't want to see wrestling go away. We want to see it improve. I want to come on this show and say, oh my gosh, did you guys see that Dynamite? If I ever watched AEW, but I don't. I mean, hey, did you guys see that Dynamite? Wasn't that explosive? It was great. It was, you know, everything that a Dynamite should be if I watched AEW. So anyway, but yeah, I would like to I wouldn't show clips, obviously. Well, I would on Rumble, and I'd like to see them try to take them off of Rumble. But I would love to show clips of AEW and say, man, this was so great, so entertaining if I watched AEW. Okay, a little more of this.
Boring shows. We want the wrestling business to be healthier and more enjoyable, and most of all, more popular. Because when the shows get more popular, all of our content gets more popular.
That's true.
Maybe it's the converse. I don't know. Like, more people can't be bothered watching wrestling, so they tune into people like us to complain about it. I don't know what the difference is. But generally speaking, the more popular wrestling is, the more popular everything around it is as well, a rising tide and all that. But anyway, in 2020...
Here. I'm going to stop sharing there because I agree. I think that, you know, when AEW does better, we all do better. When WWE does better, we all do better. And that's the point. The point is we want we don't want to sit here and just complain. Because again, I do the same thing with WWE. We're going to do that in a little bit here, where we talk about Triple H insulting the fans, you know, just be fans and stop criticizing us. Well, then make your product better, Triple H. You were in the business. You know about this. Now, you can't blame Triple H, and I'm not sticking up for him because I don't like Triple H either. I only liked Triple H when he was managed by Curt, right? At that stint there before Curt went to WCW. Now, anyway, I do not like Triple H. I do have to watch SummerSlam because I do have a wrestling podcast. But not only that, I also have to watch these pay-per-views because I also have another wrestling podcast that I do with Angel Riviera. Again, every Saturday at 8 p.m., though they are scheduled to change due to us being very, very busy. So yes, we are, you know, we always talk about modern wrestling. We talk about older wrestling sometimes, but more modern wrestling because that is what we should be doing. That's how our podcast works. It's called Pro Wrestling Talk for a reason. You know, we talk about pro wrestling, and that is the need and that is what we do. That's our bread and butter. And again, if wrestling was better and it was more popular, I would have to, I'd be like, oh my gosh, did you guys see that All In pay-per-view if I watched AEW? Or, hey, did you see that SummerSlam? It was great. SummerSlam night one was meh at best. Okay, at best. And like I said, you guys are going to see this on Rumble on the 23rd, on YouTube the 27th of August. So this will already be passed. Night 2 will already be passed, and I'll give my opinions on that on Pro Wrestling Talk. I can also give it on here, but I'd rather give it on Pro Wrestling Talk because this is more of a a channel dedicated to Curt Hennig. What would Curt Hennig think? And they did talk about Curt actually on SummerSlam. So I'm actually very happy about that. They just mentioned in context to Brock Lesnar. And I'm not a big Brock Lesnar fan. And the thing is, a lot of people think that Curt trained Brock Lesnar. He did not. He only worked out with him a few times. He thought that he was a good wrestler because he was a good amateur wrestler at the Minnesota University. A lot of people think Brock is from Minnesota. He is not from Minnesota. He's from Wisconsin. That is a fact. I think it's Wisconsin. Somebody quote me on that. But if you have where he really is, because I think he's from Wisconsin. He was born and raised in Wisconsin. Okay. Now he went to the, Minnesota University. Great. And he wrestled there, and he was a great wrestler. He was a great amateur wrestler. Great. Curt saw the talent in him. But, Curt said, don't become a lifer, because he was complaining about being on the road and where he'd rather be at home in Wisconsin with his girlfriend. Then don't become a lifer. Get your money and get out. That's what Curt was trying to tell him. And he sort of listened, and then he sort of didn't. And they had SummerSlam in Minnesota. Okay. So of course they're going to talk about Curt because he was from Minnesota. And, Brock put in his book that, he thinks about Curt all the time, and that's great. I'm glad that he thinks about Curt, but please don't take, that stuff to heart, because again, Curt saw talent in him, but I think that if Curt knew what he was doing today, what Brock was doing today, being a part of scandals and stuff, I really don't think that Curt would probably be like, what, I saw talent in you. Now what happened? Life gets in the way, but when you get in certain scandals like that, I mean, he was named in that one scandal, and I'm not going to name it because again, it's not for YouTube. They don't like when you talk about scandals, or you're not allowed to promote anything because it's called shocking content. Not going to do any of that. You all know the story if you know anything about these scandals that I'm talking about. So I'm not going to mention them by name. All I will say is that I think that Curt would be very disappointed in Brock for, getting his name into these things, or getting himself into these things. And it just seems like you have such a great person. You have a great wife, Rena. Now I have my opinions on Rena. But again, you have a nice and beautiful wife named Rena, and she was willing to marry you, and you turn around and do this to her. So yeah. Again, that's all I will say. I'm not going to go into too much detail. We are going to go ahead and get up the Triple H says insulting comments. What else is new? It's Triple H, because he just wants us fans to be quiet and let him do the promoting. Which, again, we all know. And if you don't know this, then you'll hear it first here on this channel. Triple H does not have the final say. It's TKO sticking their nose in all the booking stuff. So it's not, you can't, and again, not sticking up for Triple H, but you can't blame Triple H for all these bad storylines and all this bad booking. You have to put TKO in there too, because they have the final say. And I think that was admitted on one of the behind the scenes, what is it called? WWE Unreal. I think on Unreal, they actually admitted that they actually have a say. TKO finally, or has the final say when it comes to booking, in these storylines. So, all right, here we're going to hear Triple H telling us to just behave and watch our content and don't say anything bad about us.
Hello all, James here. Now, Paul Triple H Levesque was back in full-blown public relations mode yesterday for his appearance on Busted Open Radio on the WWE Radio Sirius XM channel, where nothing will change. That is, except for the presenters that get fired and the promotions that they do or do not cover and the news that they're allowed to talk to or not allowed to talk to and about, and then the tone of the news and the reviews and all those important rants, etc. Now, unfortunately, Triple H is absolutely horrible at public relations, entirely tone deaf, and he always seems to make the fans' relationship with the WWE even more strained with every interview he does, especially when he not only blames the wrestling fans for ruining WWE shows by scrutinizing the product too much and taking WWE too seriously, while having the bare-faced cheek, no less, to charge thousands of dollars for a single ticket to their shows and 3 figures a month just to follow all the action on television with all the ESPN and everything else. For that price and the amount of time it takes to watch everything WWE churns out on the weekly, I am damn well going to take my hobby and my financial and emotional investment seriously. Thank you. What Triple H said in this interview goes beyond the pale into the downright offensive. Not only blaming fans for being unhappy with WWE at times, like that Kent Brockman, I placed all the blame squarely on you, the viewers, but deflecting away from creative's hand.
And that's a good way to lose your fan base. If you start blaming all the fans, guess what? If I came on this show and said, you know what, all my fans are to blame for da-da-da-da-da-da, okay? You guys wouldn't watch anymore. You wouldn't want to watch anymore because I'd be blaming you for stuff that you have no control over, right? We have no say in creative. We have no say in booking. We have no say in that. We also know that TKO has the final say. But here's what TKO is telling Triple H. Go out there and tell them that it's their problem if they don't like our ideas. And your ideas stink, TKO. They stink. They really, really stink with a big flaming pile of poo. They stink. They stink. Okay, now we're going to move to the other side of the coin. Again, for all those AEW fans who skipped and wanted to come and see this, you're going to hear me criticize Triple H just as much as I was criticizing AEW. Trigger warning for all the WWE fans who are loyal to WWE. I'm sorry, but this is how it has to be. I did the same thing with the AEW fans. Trigger warning for all of you guys. If you guys want to skip this and go to the main event, that's fine. You can do that. But here's the thing. You start blaming your fans and saying, shut up and like the wrestling, you're not going to have a fan base. Even the most loyal of WWE fans, day in and day out, don't want to be blamed for the stupid crap that TKO is putting forth and saying this is good entertainment. It's not. And WrestleMania, SummerSlam night 1 was literally, for me, it was last night. For you guys, 1 and 2 will all be all done and all played out. There was a lot to leave. There was a lot that was just filler. And they didn't even have Punk and Cody should have been night 1 main event. It was not main event. Well, that just tells me that the WWE title is just a consolation prize at this point. And it's not really a main event thing. Now, I am glad that Punk kept it. I thought maybe Cody would take it because, he's Cody Rhodes, right? The 2 greatest superstars of our time, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, and this was under, it left a lot to be desired. This should have been the greatest match, and they're putting all their eggs in a basket, I guess you want to say, in Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Okay, we've already seen this. This is like episode 50 million plus of WWE, and we've already seen this match. We've already seen Seth Rollins and Reigns. And it should tell you that when they always say, oh, well, Reigns has never pinned Seth Rollins, well, that tells you that Reigns is going to win. Because if anyone is like Hulk Hogan, and I know all of my CM Punk haters out there are going to say, well, you don't know what you're talking about. That's fine. It's my opinion. And I do like Punk. Hey, I hated Punk at first. I thought he was annoying. But then he kind of grew on me. I think if CM Punk could hear that, he'd be like, interesting. So I am not an I tried to like Roman Reigns. I really did. I really tried, but I can't. I don't like his wrestling. He is the biggest Hulk Hogan of our lifetime. If anyone politic backstage, it's Roman Reigns. Because when CM Punk lost the belt, and again, I like CM Punk, I don't like Roman Reigns. But when CM Punk won the belt, all I said to Angel was, here we go again with another 4-year reign for Roman Reigns. And so far, my prediction is correct. He still has that belt. He's still, and they're still trying to make him the main event, the coup de grace. Well, which is it? Is it Cody Rhodes? Is it coup de grace, or CM Punk, or is it Roman Reigns? It's like when Roman Reigns comes into the building, no one else exists. And to my opinion, Roman Reigns hasn't really shown me a lot. He knows a couple of moves. He knows that Superman punch, and he knows the spear, and that's it. What else does Roman Reigns do? What other kind of wrestling ability does he have? He reminds me a lot of Goldberg, and I didn't like Goldberg either. The dude had 3 moves. All right, more of this.
In proceedings and putting the heat on the wrestlers instead. The interview starts. I'm not going to play the whole interview. I'm just going to talk to you about it. With everybody tonguing each other's boxes, as is the norm, of course, on WWE radio with WWE wrestlers and personnel and everything going on it. And how great WWE and WWE radio is and blah, 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 blah. And then there's actually an achievement here. That how WWE has reached such mainstream recognition that they don't have to pretend to be real anymore. Boy, they sure got that one down. They had it down for years, but now they really nailed it. Now, Triple H describes WWE as a television show about sport, a.k.a. it's fake. But the emotions are real, despite it being a scripted.
So is Triple H admitting that all sports is fake then? And it would not surprise me because I don't watch any other sports. I don't watch sports at all. Because I believe it's all fake. And they keep making references to all sports are fake. It's just a TV show. It's fake, right? Okay, great. But the entertainment value is not there. Okay. And you're literally laughing at us and blaming us and saying, well, you guys are you think it's real when it's not real. It's fake. That's not the point, Triple H. We want to be entertained. Yes, everyone knows that wrestling is fake. All sports is fake, in my opinion. Trigger warning for people who like sports. But in my opinion, all sports is fake. And you can thank sports betting for that. Because it's just like boxing. If you want someone to take a dive in boxing, what makes you think they ain't taking dives in NFL football? Oh, well, you lose this match. And like I told my father this, I've told many people this, I've told my man this. It's like wrestling. They go down the line. Well, this NFL team is winning, this team is losing, that team is winning, this team is losing. And they all know the finish. So that's just my opinion. Again, trigger warning, but more of this.
Show. And the physicality is real, even though it's simulated violence, but yes, it does hurt. And what people put into it as far as the wrestlers go is real, which is absolutely true. Maybe more so than any other sport or business that he's ever seen. Dave LaGreca, who's the host, makes an interesting comment saying other sports stars, when he was working in the NFL, was like pulling teeth to try and get them to do interviews, whereas the wrestlers really do want to do the interviews. And that Triple H and WWE has made it easy for him. Hey, I guess that's one way to spin it all into a positive. LaGreca then says fans are passionate about WWE too. Triple H says whether right or wrong, he loves the passion of the fans, which is entirely bollocks with what he's about to say. Triple H says he laughs when he... Give me a couple of minutes for that, by the way. But Triple H says he laughs when he hears old-timers and former wrestlers on podcasts talking about how it's okay that they give away secrets about pro wrestling and the business, but it's not okay when WWE does it on their podcasts or Unreal or during the shows. Yeah, that's right. It's okay when people not on the show talk about the behind-the-scenes stuff with pro wrestling. Look, the horse has already left the barn, long since bolted from that barn many, decades earlier now. And quite frankly, I don't mind learning secrets and backstage factoids about a feud or a segment or a match or whatever after it's already occurred, not during the feuds and rivalries and whatnot, which for the most part takes me out of the story, unless it's like these people really do hate each other in real life. That helps, but that's the only time it helps. It is no fun when the company putting on the production after the show, before the show, or especially during the shows, constantly peel back the curtain and ruin the illusion of what is happening. How hard is that to understand? I ask you. You don't go to a magic show where, I mean, I don't go to magic shows, but you don't go to a magic show where they tell you, they do the trick, and then halfway through every single trick, they stop and tell you what's going to happen next or how this was done before. But Penn and Teller might well do that for a trick or two just to let you in a little bit, which is great. But then they keep all the real secrets hidden to make their show, to keep you coming back, right? I don't want to see, and this is all just during shows, I don't want to see adverts for WWE Unreal during the shows, or the podcast adverts, or during promos, or during commentary where everyone is winking and nudging at the audience constantly, or rivals hanging out backstage or wherever it might be on social media in the middle of a blood feud. I want stuff to be taken more seriously on the shows, on social media, everywhere. And I'm not even referencing like Danhausen, for example. You need the comedy too. It's not about that whatsoever. We all know wrestling is fucking bullshit. We all know what it is. Dutch says you hear 3 things when you're a kid if you're a wrestling fan. Say your prayers, brush your teeth, and wrestling is fake. But we know every other fictional TV show is bullshit as well. The difference is those shows don't try to actively take you out of the moment at any given opportunity, especially for the director or the writer's own ego or desperate need to be on screen all of the time, for example. Imagine watching Breaking Bad, probably my favorite show of all time, and Hank Schrader, right before Jack Welker is going to shoot him in the desert, and Dean Norris just actually kind of just like looks around, looks at the camera, winks at the camera, and said, hey, the bullet isn't real, and we're all friends, really, before proceeding with the death sequence. They don't do that because it ruins the illusion of this fake world that you have invested your time and emotion into. And if WWE is the thing, a lot of money as well. Triple H just said himself, WWE is a television show or a weekly movie about sports. That's what he described WWE as in this interview. You have to keep a basic sense of coherence.
All right, so we're going to stop there. I will share some more of that next week. Like I said, I'm going to have to be doubling up on this. But yes, I would like to share some more about that because I felt the same way. No, Triple H, I don't have to take my spoonful of sugar and like what you are producing or what you and TKO are producing. I have my own rights. I have my own thoughts, and I am allowed to think however I feel like and please. So we will be watching that some more tomorrow. Sorry. I have to go to work tomorrow. We will be watching that some more next week because I want you to get the full context of everything that they go into there. All right, so here we go. We have the Fabulous Freebirds versus Curt Hennig and Greg Gagne. If you guys want to check this out, it is on YouTube. Just look up the Fabulous Freebirds versus Curt Hennig and Greg Gagne. So here we go.
And gentlemen, this will be a tag team match. The combined weight of these men, 468 pounds, the Fabulous Freebirds. And their opponents, weighing in at 245 pounds out of Robindale, Minnesota, Curt Hennig. And his partner at 218 pounds out of Mound, Minnesota, Greg Gagne. A tag team match, one fall, 30 minutes.
Come on, headlock.
They did that over the front part there.
Off the ropes, Hayes hits him with a shoulder block.
Figured you might as well have that, right?
One. And a hip lock takedown of his own. Terry Gagne comes in and Hennig takes him down. Arm drag. Look at Curt Hennig go to work. And now look at Curt Hennig. He just
He's mocking Michael Hayes there.
Michael Hayes very unhappy with the turn of events. and Hennig connects 2 times. Oh, Gagne, look at this. They're playing patty cake with the head of Michael Hayes. Now he gets overtapped off to Terry Gordy. Michael Hayes found it going a little too rough to his liking. The crowd at the Riviera certainly enjoyed it. Now Gordy backs Hennig into the corner. Rather than break, there lives a knee to the midsection of Hennig. Ooh, whips him into the turnbuckle. And I'll tell you, that ring moved about 6 inches. Ooh, now Gordy takes him into the other corner. Moved the ring back where it was. 2 elbows, vicious, to the top of the head of Curt Hennig. Again into the turnbuckle. You can see the pain as his back goes full force into the turnbuckle. See Michael Hayes showing his approval. Gordy goes right back to work on Hennig. Look at Hennig turning around. Look at Curt Hennig going to work on Gordy. Again into the turnbuckle. Oh, look at Gordy up.
Reminds me of Ric Flair doing that stuff.
Ring. That's 285 pounds that moved up that corner. Hennig now, headlock. So far, Greg Gagne has not gotten into the action as of yet. As Curt Hennig has been more than holding his own against the Fabulous Freebirds. Take a look at Michael Hayes. Now look at Hayes. Now wait a minute. He's untying that turnbuckle in the corner. I thought the referee spotted it. All he did was come over and tell Hayes to hold the tag team rope. Now he gets Buddy Roberts away from the ring. Now, Greg Gagne not tags in. Terry Gordy didn't know he tagged. Gagne goes right to work on Gordy, but watch. Keep your eyes when you see it on that turnbuckle in the corner of the Freebird. That top turnbuckle, Hayes has got it untied. Look at Hennig off the second rope. Right across the arm of Terry Gordy. Gordy doesn't drop to his knees. He dislocates his shoulder. Now Gagne's up. Oh! And again. Oh, Hayes and Buddy Roberts conferring. Now Hayes turns his attention back to the ring. Look at Gagne battle back. 3-4 haymakers in a row.
Oh,
Gordy
right for the eyes.
Across the eyes of Gagne. Off the ropes he comes. Oh! Fist right into the breadbasket. Buddy Roberts looks over here and nods his approval, the work of his brother. Single punch to the stomach. There's a single punch that works away. Those 2 are used for knuckles down. Now wait a minute, what's Gordy gonna do? He's up on that second rope. Now he's going up on the top rope. Now wait a minute, Gagne's caught him up on that top rope.
Oh.
But Gordy again goes to the eyes, comes down on the top of Gagne's head. Gordy again picks him up, slams him to the mat. Now again, Gordy going up. Second rope, top rope. Now Gagne's got him this time. Gagne's got him. Oh! He body slammed him from about 10 feet.
I wonder if Gordy got that from Flair. That's stuff Flair used to do.
Gagne kicks off Hayes. Gagne gets over. There's a tag to Curt Hennig. He's been wanting it for a long time, and look at it go to work on Michael Hayes.
Hi-ya!
Back body drop. He labels Terry Gordy. Now goes right back to work on Hayes. Dropped it.
13 minutes gone. Oh.
Haymaker of his own by Curt Hennig. What's he going to do? Sets Hayes up, back suplex, up and over. Hennig to the cover. A count of 2, but Hayes was able to kick him off. Great tag team battle here at the Riviera in Las Vegas. Hennig
down a stretch. Oh, come on.
Comes in and labels Hennig. Greg Gagne goes right after Gordy. We've got all 4 men in the ring. Referee watching Gagne and Gordy off the ropes. Look at Hayes. He missed. Oh. Hayes back down. Buddy Roberts labeled Hennig with a forearm.
Oh, man.
Bob Warren didn't see it. Buddy Roberts from outside the ring. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. You fans saw it. The referee concentrating on what Gagne was doing to Terry Gordy.
All right. We're going to stop sharing there. That was a very short main event. I know they didn't show the whole match. They showed parts of it. So, but I wanted to get that in. I didn't know that Curt ever faced Terry Gordy. So there's news to me. I've heard of Terry Gordy through the grapevine, but there you go. If you ever wanted to know if Terry Gordy and Michael Hayes ever faced Curt Hennig, yes, he did. Yes, they did. So that is the end of our show. Now we have shameless plugs coming up. I do have some decisions to make with my other shows. I just wanted to kind of make this briefly because I really haven't had a lot of time to do multiple shows. So I'm reconsidering. Maybe I won't do 1 or 2 shows. I may end them. I'm not sure. If you would like to check out my other shows because you're curious about things, the links are in the description field. Please check them out. If you would like to keep them going, just leave a little comment in there. Hey, I love these shows. Let's keep them up. If not, then I probably will, because I'm running out of, I'm very busy nowadays, but I don't know if when school comes back in, when my son goes back to school, if I'll have more time for my shows or not. So we definitely will see about that. But I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. And again, we will watch some more of the Triple H things, Triple H's comments and stuff about, oh, shut up and like our wrestling. But yeah, so, and like I said, I might do some double recordings next week for 54 and 55. Again, you guys will see that at the end of August and early September. So anyway, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Now everyone's going to hear shameless plugs. And to let everyone know, the song at the end is AI generated. So please check that out. I created that with AI. They are not my lyrics. That was lyrics that AI created. The ones that I created, the lyrics about Mr. Perfect, I am going to keep. I just don't want to put my product out here and then have it stolen and then say, well, sorry, and someone else gets famous on my lyrics. So sorry, I just don't trust anything about that because YouTube has repeatedly done that where they've had artists share their work on YouTube and then, all caught in copyrights and stuff. And in the end, the artist ends up losing out on it. So I'm just going to keep those lyrics to myself, and anything AI created, I will share with everybody because I don't care if you take the AI stuff. It's not my stuff. It's AI created. So, but me personally, I'm going to keep the lyrics that I created to myself. I'm sorry. I know they are really great lyrics, and I really think they show, my love for Curt and Curt's career. He was my pro wrestling hero. So unfortunately, no one will get to hear those. Yes, the melody and stuff is AI that I created, but the lyrics are mine alone. So I just don't want to share that and have someone else get famous because, oh, well, they were my lyrics all to begin with. Well, even if I have proof that I own those lyrics, there's just too much that can happen nowadays with, proof of, evidence and proof. So I'm going to keep those to myself. That's been a very tough decision because I think these songs nail it when it comes to, Curt and his career and everything, and how I felt about the man and his wrestling. So it's been a very hard decision for me, but I think that I think it would just be best if I kept the lyrics to myself. But anyway, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Like I said, like, share, subscribe. Check out the links in the description field if you want to check out Angel or Kit or Dave from Deconstructing Topics, excuse me. And I have everyone in the shameless plug, so please check them out too. I have my other shows. If you like those other shows or you want to learn more about them, links are in the description field. If you would like them to go away, that's fine too. I need to find some time to do them again. I've been really skimping on them, and I don't think that's fair to my fans who enjoy them. It's just that it's a time thing. It's a time restraint or a time issue. So, I just, because I'm so busy, it's summertime and, we're going to the beach, and then we're also going to the pool on the weekends when I have my son. So it's really time constraining when I have so much to do and just so little time to do it. But like I said, with him going back to school, maybe I'll have more time to do it. So I'll start up those shows again. So we'll see. Okay. Like I said, thank you everyone for tuning in to me, and we'll see you next week. We are going to go over some more of the Triple H stuff and some more wrestling news. I'm Mrs. Witchy Perfect. And remember, everyone, nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody. Hey, Curt Hennig fans. Hello, and welcome to the Shameless Plugs. I wanted to do an updated version because I no longer have Patreon. I don't know if anyone has seen, and down in the description field, the first shameless plug I would like to do is for my Cash App and my PayPal account. If you can donate, please, please, please donate today. I actually had one donation, but that was more for my birthday. So anyway, if you can donate, please see the links in the description field for my PayPal and my Cash App. I'd like to start off by saying also, and I will say this at the end, I have an AI outro that is AI generated. I actually made a country song dedicated to Curt. I made several. Just in case, there also maybe in the future or right now is going to be an AI intro. So I just want to let you know that the intro also could be AI, and this is for Amazon. This is for YouTube only. YouTube only. So the first shameless plug I would like to do is Kit Cabello. He is one of my great, great friends. I love him to death. And what a great man, great guy, all around great friend as well. You can catch him on Heartlands Media. That's 9 a.m. Central, Monday through Friday. And he will tell it like it is. Trust me, he will tell it like it is. Can't say enough great things about Kit Cabello. Also, check out Angel Riviera. He is in Angel in the Afternoon. And of course, he is my host for Pro Wrestling Talk. Pro Wrestling Talk is every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, though those are scheduled to change due to family issues or WrestleMania or a pay-per-view. Also, I would like you to, but definitely check out Angel in the Afternoon. It is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And he also tells it like it is. Way to go, Angel. Okay, on to Deconstructing Topics. My big brother, Dave. I can't say enough great things about Dave. He is a big supporter of mine, and I'm a big supporter of him. If you check out Deconstructing Topics, he has his own show. I'm not sure what episode he's on right now, but he has a great podcast. Please, please, please listen to it. You can check it out on YouTube. I don't know if he's on Rumble, but I'll see if I can get a Rumble link. All these links are in the description field if you want to check these people out. Also, I'd like to mention my little Kit brother, Alex Knight. We are actually not really related, but I see him like a little brother. So anyway, Alex Knight, you can find him on Angel in the Afternoon. You can also catch him on Pro Wrestling Talk. And I think he's going to do a baseball podcast with Angel as well. So check that out. That'll be on Sundays. I'm not sure the time. I'll have to get that from Angel later. But I just want to make sure that you check him out because he is a great person and someone I can call friend and little brother. The next shameless plug I'd like to do really fast is Black Magic Talk is my other show, guys. If you would like to check that out, all you have to do is click the link in the description field, and blessed be to you if you are also a witch, wizard, or warlock, or whatever you call yourself. You can check that out in the description field. We have a lot of fun over there. I love to have on special guests, especially Sonia Smith. She's a very dear friend of mine. I hope you will subscribe to all these people on YouTube or on Rumble. We are also on Rumble. The Rumble description field, the link is in the description field. Sorry. If you would like to check that out, this will be going on YouTube, of course, because I don't need this for Rumble. I could put it on Rumble. I think I might. So if you are on Rumble watching this and you would like to see the YouTube version of this, it's mostly audio that you will see, except for this part, right? Just check us out on YouTube. The link is in the description field. And again, if you want to check out Black Magic Talk, you can check that out too, where we talk everything pagan and Wiccan. There is no evil or black magic, of course. It's all great fun, and we have a good time. If you like a personal tarot reading from me, click the link in the description field below. I can get you my, my pricing and stuff. If you would like to be a guest on the Black Magic Talk, or if you'd like to be on Pro Wrestling Talk, you can DM me on X. My X is in the description field for both Black Magic Talk and for Curt Hennig podcast. Go ahead and hit those in the description field and DM me, and feel free to ask if you'd like to be a guest. If there's anything else, concerns, or if you would like to just give feedback, you can always DM us on X and so on. Just want to mention my Cash App and my PayPal account are in the description field. If you can give to the show, great. If not, please enjoy the show. That's what we are mainly here for, just for your entertainment purposes only. And again, I will reiterate that the AI outro song is AI generated. That is for everyone, for Rumble and for YouTube. Also, there could be an AI intro song. Just want to let you know that if there's ever an intro song, it is AI generated on YouTube. I created a couple of songs here and there, a couple of country songs I think that Curt would like. So I hope you check those out. And remember, everyone, nobody beats Mr. Perfect or Curt Hennig. Nobody.
In a small town bar, neon lights aglow. I first laid eyes on a man I didn't know. He carried himself like a legend in strife. Curt Hennig, the perfect picture of life. With a cowboy hat and a rust-colored grin, spun me around like a dance of the wind. His stories of wrestling glory and fame, told in the voice of a man without shame. Oh, Curt Hennig, you're the epitome of pride, a perfect gentleman who won't be denied. In your eyes I saw dreams taking flight, a hero in the glow of a Saturday night. He wore his heart on a tattered old sleeve, a reminiscence of what he believed. Through victories, heartaches, and all in between, he stayed true to the man he had always been. Every tale unfolded like a well-worn map of battles he'd fought and the cheers he'd clapped. I found myself lost in the stories he told. Curt Hennig's spirit worth more than gold. Oh, Curt Hennig, you're the epitome of hero in the glow of a Saturday night.